Hello everybody, how are you guys doing this evening? Wandering Pig, Dunder Snuff, welcome in. Dunder, that's cool, yeah. I'm glad you're feeling better, but no problem if you can't stick around. I understand. Welcome in, guys. Well, I am going to jump in here and yeah, let's get started painting. Alright. Hey, Big Papa, what's going on? We have this lovely little Centurion here, and I'm going to start with some highlights on this mini. That's what we're going to do. Oops, sorry. Throwing the brush. Got very long getting ready for bed. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Got to get the week started. Here we go. Good painting. This is just reapplying our original color. Raja, welcome in. How are you doing? What's going on? Painting family's doing well. Tuvon, welcome. Welcome. Ready to commission your way? Yes. I am talking with them, actually. Wandering Pig. They actually jumped in the Discord. So we are having a bit of a chat. Demon Angel Wolf, welcome into the stream. How are you doing? And Sarah Elizabeth, man, everybody jumping in. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Happy Sunday, guys. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Session 0 on Discord for weekend-long D&D. Nice. That's cool. Very good stuff. Full Sunday night chat. Yeah, people chilling. Welcome in, guys. I commission myself because international. Yeah, that's fair. Well, yeah, we're gonna be. We'll be chatting about it. We'll see if we can work something out, though. I didn't know. So Discord on mobile is a little weird. They don't send me notifications if someone has a message request for me, but I can see it easily if I'm on desktop. So I wasn't on my desktop all day. So get on the desktop this evening. I saw it right before stream. Misfit, welcome in. Misfit's chilling on YouTube, guys. Everybody say hi to Misfit. Yeah, Discord's a little weird about that. It's all good. Since Bret Hart pinned Shawn Michaels back in 1994. Okay. What are you so excited about? About full chat? Oh man. Did you guys see the Sunday preview today? Was a good one, and I will make a prediction right now. You guys ready? Painting Dad prediction time. Next Sunday, I guess this coming Sunday, Cafe Minis, Old World pre-orders for Grand Cafe is coming. That's what's happening. What's the news? Oh, it's just a big, Horus Heresy. Angron Transfigured is finally going to be coming out. He was announced on Valentine's Day last year. So that poor mini has been sitting in limbo along with Lataris Seren for almost a year at this point. Get bad reason I really not. Yeah. Back to work. You got some extra going on, Raja? Yeah, Rage, I don't know what's up, man. I cannot win I can't win a Star Realms game against you. I've been doing pretty poorly anyway. Painting Wife's been crushing me in that game too. So I just lost my touch. Apparently, I think that's what's happening. I don't know. Just work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it definitely has flipped, hasn't it? I'm just like, what do I want game? And you can see like 4 moves into the game if you're gonna win or not. There were a couple I thought I had you, and then turned out to not be the case. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. You know, I think that's the sign of a good friendship, though, right? So you understand how I felt before, where I'm just playing. I'm like, do it, but like I can't. Like it's not okay to let the other person win, right? Like that's also kind of like unsportsmanlike in a way. Kind of ruins it. So it's all good though. It's all good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was just in my account. We had we hadn't played a game in a few days, and so I was like, I'm gonna start a game with Raja. And I go in there and to start a new game, it's like, what expansions do you want? I was like, well, I'm gonna check and see if I actually have these expansions that I bought years ago, before my account had all kinds of issues. And sure enough, they were sitting in there, those expansions. So I just decided to turn them on and check them out. So yeah, I got some expansions we're playing with. We're talking about Star Realms, guys. It's a card game with an app. So if you want to play me in Star Realms, my my screen name is TPD. I will happily play games against you guys. Yeah, what did everybody get up to this weekend? What's Star Realms? It's a card game. It's a deck building game, but they have you can play on an app, like on Android, and I assume on like Apple or iPhone or whatever. But yeah, it's like a spaceship kind of deck building game. And I don't typically like card games, but for some reason I bought that game one time and it just stuck with me. And so I have a physical copy of the game, but I also have the digital version. It's like $5, I think, to buy the digital version, and you can play people online. So I play Raja online. For the most part, we have a running game going at any given time, or we have for like the past month or so. But it's fun. Yeah, yeah. Well, if you end up grabbing it, Big Papa, and like I said, just look up TPD and challenge me to a game, or let me know on Discord or something before you challenge me, and be happy to play. Working all weekend tomorrow as well. Then you're off Tuesday. Okay, nice, nice. So you're in the middle of your work week then. Lame. Let's go Tuesday. Yeah. Work Friday through Monday every week. Dang. Hmm. We're just mixing some white into our gray here. Adding it places. We add a bit of a highlight. Hope we can get some nice detail on this mini. We'll see. We'll see if I can manage it. I feel like I've painted so many Thousand Suns that things are automatic, but I also feel like sometimes I don't paint them as well as I should. I don't know if that's a me thing, or if that's like, you know, like if I'm not painting them as well as I could be and they're not looking as good, or if it's just because I see them so much and I've done this so many times. I don't know. How you doing, Estrello? Welcome in. Some pure white. People won't notice individuals if there's a mass. Yeah, it's true. That's true. Shoveled compost and dirt all weekend, getting the garden beds prepped. Cooked a tri-tip for the wife today. Pretty darn chill weekend. That sounds great. Sounds fantastic. Watch the Bears beat the Packers. Pretty good weekend. Nice. The Bears are typically pretty terrible, aren't they? So that's a pretty big deal, right? Is that... Am I mistaken on that? Or, I don't know. I don't know football stats. It's a massive deal. Okay. Well, good for them. Yeah, my wife and I have to start talking about getting our garden ready, because we're going to try that this year again, so... Not quite at that point, but... It's still cold here, but we got to start planning. Bane of the Bears' existence for like 30 years? Oh no. Yeah, try to grow some veggies this year. We're trying to think of like staple veggies that we would eat a lot of, and I feel like our list of veggies is a lot different, the veggies that we eat regularly, than a lot of people maybe. Ground thaws out there August, yeah, it's not that cold in Ohio. The ground thawed out on Friday when it was 60 degrees. And then it was 20 degrees today. So, your wife eats spicy vegetables? Yeah. Grow some peppers. Just grow jalapenos. Yeah, jalapenos are a good one to grow. I think that's that might be like a year or two thing. It's a state. It's 20 degrees. You know. Okay, alright. Chill, man. Chill. You don't have to, like, just completely wreck me here, alright? Jeez, dude. Yeah, I'm thinking, so like, number one vegetable I want to grow is zucchini. And I need to research zucchini, but man, I could eat zucchini like every day. So, which sounds completely ridiculous when I think about it, but I get tired of, like, you know, cucumbers and bell peppers and everything, which I feel like are kind of staples when people have their gardens. I don't like tomatoes. Neither does painting wife, or at least just like eating tomatoes. So like tomatoes probably won't be a big thing, but pickled jalapenos like 6 days of the week. That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds good. Need to learn how to grow Brussels sprouts also. I do love me some Brussels sprouts. Hey, bye draw. What's going on? Dang, a 30 stream watch streak? That's wild. Yeah, that's crazy. Alright, Wandering Pig. Thanks for joining. Get some sleep. Nice and late for you, so yeah. You take it easy. Yeah, pickled jalapenos sound amazing. I mean, like, I buy them at the store and everything, but yeah, growing them, that sounds good. Okay, we did that. Let's take a little brush and let's do some white gold here. No, what what I want to do. Ashen Jedi, welcome in. How are you doing? Doom Kings are Packers themed? Oh no. My condolences, yeah. They are Packers themed, aren't they? I'm gonna take some black wash. I'm gonna wash down a couple of these metallics a little more. A darker tone. The wife and I finished, we finished Alien Earth last night. Beautiful suns. Thank you, Night Trap. I appreciate that. Welcome in, by the way. Hope you've had a wonderful weekend. Anybody else do anything fun this weekend? Yeah, finishing Alien Earth, incredible. I loved it. Hold on, tomorrow put Matt Varnish, Last My Red Brigade dudes, and start a new Antioch Kickstarter warband. Yeah, Pro Curl does just fine on a wet palette. I've been using it on a wet palette for years. Yeah, thank you, Ashen Jedi. I am, I have a lot of Thousand Suns. For anyone who doesn't know, I have over 10,000 points of painted Thousand Suns. I've slowed down a little bit, but I worked on a lot this past year. So there are a lot of suns painted. Yeah, they work like a dream on a wet palette. Yeah, don't worry about that. At the end of the day, if it's not working, if they thin out too quick, just use less water on your wet palette. Right? Like, it's got to be hydrated, not like swimming in water. So it's barely enough for 3 armies. I know, wild, isn't it, Band of Goblins? And that doesn't include the 5,000 points of auxiliaries I have for them. Yeah, if you guys are a fan of like Alien, I highly recommend Alien Earth. I thought the show was great. Yeah, suitably creepy. It's the fact it's a TV show is a little frustrating, just because they have to leave it open for the next season, and they didn't resolve nearly as much as I thought they would. But otherwise, I guess probably my biggest complaint about the show. But no, all the weird aliens they had in the show were awesome. Characters are great. Just good stuff. I'm struggling, yeah. I don't have nearly enough. There's a couple things I'm waiting for with Horus Heresy. A couple things I'm waiting to release, to finally come out. I'll probably go bonkers and buy some more stuff, but it's not this day. Breachers and Cataphractii Terminators aren't things I was really chomping at the bit to buy, so I'm not getting any of those. And then the new Skitarii that's coming in the next couple weeks. That got their Sunday preview. I don't play Mechanicum, so I do like those Skitarii minis with a different paint job. I'd be curious to mess with them in person, but yeah, I don't have a huge desire to collect Mechanicum at the moment. Yeah, I do only have a single Fellblade. That's right. I only have, well, I have two Lords of War and a Primarch, but that's all I have. This show felt unnecessary considering they didn't really do much. They added new aliens, but not much more. Alien never adds much, though. Like, I think this show added more to the Alien franchise than just about any Alien movie I've seen in the past 20 years. My biggest complaint about Alien is every Alien movie is the same thing. It's the exact same formula, and like, it frustrates me and it makes them boring to watch because it's always the people are there. Someone, they go to explore some mystery thing. There's a xenomorph egg. Someone gets near the egg, it opens, it gets their face, they bring them back to the med bay, they can't tell what's wrong with them, the person wakes up fine. Then the chest burst scene, you got to do the chest burst scene, and then it hides, and then they have to, you got to have the mandatory scene where it's hanging in the vent and it's dripping slimy drool on the person, and they slowly look up and it's there, and then it jumps on them, instead of just like killing them. It's always the same thing with every Alien movie. And what I really liked about this show, they did that in this show. They took an entire episode and made an Alien movie out of it, which was fine. And, if you like that, it was great. I thought the episode was cool, honestly. Like, I like Alien stuff, so I like Alien movies and the franchise and stuff. But I loved how they changed it, where like they had multiple characters that knew exactly what the things were and what they were capable of, and like people were they were listening, and they had protocol, and like things break down in the end, which they kind of have to make the show right, but it was great. I really enjoyed that, how they had competent people who knew what was going on. That was awesome. Especially Kirsch. Kirsch was probably my favorite character, but he's an android, so. Yeah, and having other species in the show helped too. Made it interesting. I think they, obviously the xenomorph is the star, right? But the eyeball alien was definitely my favorite, and I would love to see just like an episode about that thing's adventures. Would be great. That's how I feel about rom-coms. Boy meets girl, boy dates girl, fight, break up, get back together. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The same formula, but for a xenomorph, it's just like, for alien movies, it's always like that similar kind of deal. Start a donation goal to help me? Yeah. No, who would do that just to buy a tank? That'd be ridiculous. Right? Broken Down, humanity has like 8 different story paradigms. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, and that could be the case, but you know, I feel like you should try different story paradigms in this when you're dealing with the same franchise and the same story in sequel movies, right? Just working on some edge highlighting on here. Personally agree with your view. Fast and Furious franchise would probably disagree. I haven't seen a Fast and the Furious movie since like number 4. Like 4 Fast, 4 Furious, I think. Is that what that was called? Or it was the Tokyo one, where they're all driving on mountains. Alien 2 did that. Alien was very horror, but Alien 2 was more action movie. It was. Alien 2 was definitely more action movie. Or Aliens, right? Um, and I definitely think it's the best of the franchise because it's the least. It's the one that follows the formula the least. That's part Tokyo. They're teenagers. I thought they were just 37-year-old dudes. I think I watched that movie when I was a teenager. Maybe I just thought everybody was just old people and I wasn't paying attention. Aging too fast, too furious. Yeah. Hey, okay. You know what? We're gonna get into joke territories that it starts with a guy in high school. Oh, okay. I don't remember. I probably saw that movie on DVD at a friend's house as like a teenager or something. Like, let's watch a movie. Like, we've already watched Iron Man 65 times, so let's watch something else. Racing Brad from Home Improvement in his dad's Dodge Viper. Oh my gosh. Those references. Wait, hold on. Is Brad the oldest brother? It was, dang. Ugh, I hate that I remember that. But yeah, that dude had to have been like 37. Yeah, by the time they filmed that movie. Oh, Need for Speed. Yeah, Need for Speed was great. JTT got cancer or something? Oh, okay, okay, I don't know. The middle kid. That was the kid that was like, he was like the one, he was so popular. He was like the most popular actor from that show. Or like the rising star, like, you know, screw Tim Allen, it was that kid, right? The middle child. I think I understood you there after a minute. Yeah. Falls a mid just because he got cancer, right? Right, Big Papa? Hmm. Absolutely, yeah. PS2 was that era of gaming was the golden age of console games. PS2, Xbox. I don't know what Nintendo thing was out, but what a time! What a time to be alive. The spry 8-year-old watching that show, I really wanted to be the neighbor Wilson. Yeah, Wilson was great. Was it GameCube at the time? Okay, I see. I've never in my life played a GameCube, so probably terrible. Super Nintendo was still peak. Do you guys remember the Dreamcast? Was that Sega? Who made the Dreamcast? Wasn't Need for Speed Underground a different game? Okay, Sega made the Dreamcast, so I had a neighbor who owned a Sega Dreamcast, and this kid was like a hyper video game nerd, and he formed my entire opinion of the Dreamcast. This is why they went under, guys, because kids like him played Dreamcast. So, like this kid played so many video games, and me and my brothers were like, "Who is this nerd?" You know. But it was cool. Like he would, well, some of the things he would do, he'd show us like how to beat games. So like we had Resident Evil as like 10-year-olds, you know, and this kid being like 11 is like, yeah, I got that. Or he was also like 10 or something, but so he would like beat Resident Evil, which I always thought was like super hard. I think it was the second one, maybe, I don't remember. But then we'd play games at our house, like in our living room, and I remember our one moment, and a couple moments, this kid like kind of soured his reputation, but you know, we're playing probably N64 or something, I don't remember, but our dog just walks through the neighborhood and just trips on all the controller cords. just like goes nuts, like a Labrador, you know, and he just clumsily like trips over all the cords, and and you know, we're like, oh no, like why would you do that, dog? But this kid goes ballistic, and he kicked our dog. This kid literally kicked our dog. And me and my brothers were like done. We're like, nope, we're done with this guy. You know, like 10 years old or whatever. What's up, Eoraptor? How you doing? It was super cool, but the owners were awful. Yeah. Shocking is the meta on Twitch. What? Yeah. That's true. That's true. Let's yeah, if you're on Twitch, you gotta shock your dog. No. But yeah, I remember that we like didn't like this kid from then on because he kicked our dog, and we would occasionally hang out with him. I remember one time we were playing basketball like in our driveway. We had a basketball hoop. We were playing basketball with him, and one of my older brothers like gets past this kid and like runs to like do a layup or dunk. I don't remember, put the hoop down a little bit or whatever, but he jumps up, and as he comes down, this kid full force kicks my brother in the testicles. Like as hard as he can, because he was mad for being like dunked on or whatever. 7:45 and you're tempted to make coffee. Don't do it. Don't do it, Goblin. It's a bad idea. John Wick got the call. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. So, yeah, we stopped hanging out with that kid after that point. I don't even think our parents would let us if we wanted to, but ugh. That was my opinion of Dreamcast, was a kid that kicks dogs and other people in the privates when they dunk on them. So that's nuts. Yeah, it is. Yep. It was like bad though. Like my parents were like debating like taking my brother to the ER to see like if like bro, like it was crazy. Big deal. I don't know. 90s were a wild time, guys. But that's a Sega Dreamcast kid for you, you know. Anybody else here have a Dreamcast and kick dogs? Buddy? yeah, my brother has kids. He's good now. The 90s were a wild time, yeah. Pretty great overall, though. Your local game store reopens officially on Tuesday in their new location, way closer. Ooh, that's dangerous. Yeah. Tomorrow for Discord members of the store, they'll raffle for some 40K boxes. That's solid, dude. Go get some free stuff. Yeah, Mr. Wacky, you don't have to remind us. 90s were a simpler time for most of us because we were kids. And we didn't know what wild times were. So, nostalgia tells us the 90s were better. Aggressive free-range parenting. So, I had a gift card to one of the local stores near me, and I decided to go. Actually, I was chilling with Zendral, who is, I don't know where, asleep or something now. He's not asleep, there's no way. He's playing Power Wash Simulator or horse racing or something right now, but maybe Total War, no idea. But I was looking for something to go with my gift card, and their stock was pretty low, so I wasn't gonna get minis just to spend the money. So I ended up buying a board game, and the board game I got was Tiny Epic Kingdoms. So wait, what? Controls are a little more open. Okay, all right. In London, dang. So yeah, I got Tiny Epic Kingdoms, which is a we have a couple of the Tiny Epic games. I have Tiny Epic Tactics and Tiny Epic Defenders, and just a little like $30 board game. So it's they're really small and compact, hence the Tiny Epic name to them. But we've had fun playing those with the family. So I got Kingdoms. It's a 4X game, and yeah, we got it. We played it Friday night, and the family enjoyed it so much we played 2 more rounds on Saturday together. So it was pretty great, and all 3 of us have a win from the 3 rounds. So it's cool. You play a 4X, so you have like a kingdom, and there's 3 resources. There's mana, ore, and food. And you either you have this. There's this kind of this weird action system where you like the active player chooses an action, everybody chooses to do that action or to collect resources. But you train meeples, you build up a tower that gives you points at the end, or you increase like your magic level, and your magic level gives your faction their unique abilities. So the higher the magic level, the more unique and powerful your faction's ability are. And the factions are like classical, like fantasy races. So there's elves and dark elves. There's dwarves and halflings and humans and lizard folk and goblins and orcs and all that kind of stuff. So they'll have like cool different abilities and like how they play the game. So it's fun. It's very simple. The game is really quick too. We play a game in like half an hour. And we could play faster, but my son tends to not take his turn super fast a lot of the time. But just really easy. You're just like, I'm going to do the thing that's presented, or I'm just going to move my resource trackers up. And that's the game. That's cool. Tiny Epic Defenders is a lot of fun and can get pretty hard, but it's also cooperative, which is fun. So we enjoy that in our house because we don't have to compete against each other, and it saves us from potential bad times. Yeah. My least favorite thing about Epic Defenders is shuffling the deck initially, because it always confuses me. Like when I'm supposed to shuffle and what I'm supposed to shuffle into the deck and all this stuff. It's like a whole system. But it's fun. I don't have Tiny Epic Zombies or Dungeons. I bet I would be a big fan of Tiny Epic Zombies, but I love zombie stuff, so. And the plan this weekend is to play Rome Total War, the board game, which apparently takes like 5 hours to play, but we're going to sit down and play it. And Zen's going to be playing it with me, and my son, and my 9-year-old son, and a new member of our family who's married in. So I guess a nephew-in-law of mine. So he's really into board games though, and he said he'd play, so that'd be cool. He's a big like board game guy. Zombies is good, yeah. Yeah, I feel like those games tend to be pretty good. Those Tiny Epic games. I think it's more just finding a theme that you enjoy with those games, and you can find something that you like. Is the zombies one, are you like, is it like zombie apocalypse? Is that the theme of it? Like you're surviving, or is it like playing as zombies? How does that work? Give me the one sentence spiel for the game, if you don't mind. The mall is, yeah, okay. Yeah, that sounds perfect. So it's cooperative, then. You know, if I had to pick a zombie game and what you would do in a zombie game, it would be as a group of survivors in the mall. Because who hasn't seen Dawn of the Dead? Right? Like, that's quintessential zombie movie. Slavic, what's going on? How are you doing? I am doing just fine. Chilling, a little tired, but ready to get this week started. Hopefully everybody's healthy this week. Probably my biggest hope for the family is that we're all staying healthy and we can have a relatively normal and boring week. That sounds very nice. It could be either. Oh, okay. You can have your survivor being a zombie trying to take out the other players. Oh, that's cool. Okay, that's really cool. This is a Mungo Minis handle. Yes, it is. Mungo actually, he had a giveaway on Instagram. And Crucial Blue nominated me for the giveaway, and I ended up winning the giveaway. So, he sent me some of these mini holders as well as some delicious candy in the packaging, which is great, and I do love. So, I feel like I need to do that. I don't know why I never do that, but yeah, it's cool. It's has magnets. The magnets are a little weak, I have to say. I wish there were stronger magnets in here, because these come off a little easy when you're trying to turn them. But the textured holder, the stuff like that you can weigh down, you can add in weights if you want, and the fact you can spin this, and it's got like a decent grip to spin it. It's all nice, very nice. Yeah, the sickness is going on. Yeah, my family's had their share of sickness, so we are trying to avoid that if we can. Avoid more, I guess. At this point, I haven't made a maraca. Yeah, see, the thing is, if I make it a maraca, I mean, yeah, you can see the practical outcome here, where everybody's going to be hearing it all the time, and don't want to deal with that, because I'm gonna like move it, and because in the way I paint minis, I don't just hold in one place, I rotate the minis. So it's all upside. Yeah. Jay, sir, touche. All right. Take our time going through the gold here. Bright gold to get a highlight. Gold we have. What would you guys say was the greatest PS2 game? was the best game on PlayStation 2. Trying to think of, like, you never had one. Terrible mind drill. You missed out. Alright, missing childhood right there. There were so many good games on PS2. Like, I feel like if you ask 15 different people, you're gonna get 15 different answers. I never played Final Fantasy, any Final Fantasy, so I know people love Final Fantasy, so I can see how that's a reasonable answer. So what, like, man, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance holds a special place in my heart. And was it Return to Arms was the sequel to that game? And then the cheap knockoff that was made by the same people under a different name was Champions of Norath. Time Splitters 2, yeah, I played that one. Yep. Dark Alliance was so bad, I loved it though. I was too young to know. Like, I never played like D&D as a kid or the PlayStation Baldur's Gate. My one thing I wished Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance had was more classes. And then you play Return to Arms and there's 5 or like it ends up being like 6 or 7 classes. You unlock some and everything. A game that was really bad. My brother and I went out and we bought a game called Gauntlet. I can't remember which Gauntlet. I know there was a series of Gauntlet games, but they were like hack and slash adventure games. Maybe Gauntlet Legends? I don't remember. We bought the game. We're like, wow, this looks like Baldur's Gate. Let's play it. We buy the game. We get home and we play it. And after like 3 hours, we beat the game. And we're like, there's nothing left of this game. Like, what is this garbage? And we went back right after we beat the game and returned it. Like this, it was terrible. The game was so boring. It was some kind of like fantasy hack and slash, like action RPG kind of thing. Star Wars Battlefront, that is a solid mention. Medal of Honor Frontline, I think was PS2. That was like the precursor to all the Call of Duty, and then you have the original Call of Duty games that were insane. What else? Ace Combat 4, that's another great one for PlayStation. World at War. I don't remember. I don't remember if it was or not. You're talking Call of Duty, right? Yeah, I don't remember if it was. Medal of Honor and Battlefront, awesome callouts, yeah. Okay, guys, legendary games here. The Lord of the Rings Return of the King and Lord of the Rings The Two Towers games. The Fellowship one was pretty bad, but The Return of the King and The Two Towers. incredible games, hack and slash games. I never played Commandos. Do you guys remember the Army Men franchise of games? So there was like Army Men, there were like 4 of them. Then there was like Army Men, Sarge's Heroes, and Sarge's Heroes 2. I had both of those games. I played through those games and loved them. Army Men did a World War game, World at War, Land, Sea, Air, or something like that. That was a cool one because it was like historical Army Men. You could like get into planes and stuff, which was really cool. They had an RTS Army Men game that I loved. That was also on PS2. But I always loved RTSs, so that game was right up my alley. Yeah. Dude, Sarge's Heroes was great because you would go through the portals, right? And you'd end up in like someone's like dining room table or in their freezer or like in a toy store. And that was the game. You're just going here trying to stop the Tan army. It was General Tannenberg was his name. The very German, definitely not Nazi metaphor in a kid's game with toys. But yeah, that game was great. Yeah, Slovak, go watch footage of someone playing Sarge's Heroes. Just cringe at everything that's like in that game. Like the nostalgia is one thing, but man, that game looks so bad now and sounds so bad. Like it's so overdone. I believe Guitar Hero was first out on PlayStation 2. Is that right? Guitar Hero? Sarge's Heroes was an amazing game. I dread what it'd do to the nostalgia. Yeah, I had one of those moments, Slovak, where I was like, that game was real, right? Because that feels like a fever dream. Like, there's no way that game was real. And I looked it up on YouTube, and there are playthroughs on YouTube for that game. And you just watch it, and it's like, man, I remember this level. Wow, this is bad. Like, it's just, the whole thing just seems so bad. Yeah, what they just say? Yeah. I think that era of console gaming, one of the great things about it was you could walk into a department store like Walmart, and you could just look up, just like walk into the video game section. And I remember they always had a section. It was the PS2 greatest hits, and they were games that were like, these are the popular games that were like, not brand new basically, and they would sell them for like $20 and or cheaper. Maybe my mind says $20. That's not very expensive, but has $20 always been cheap for a console game? Maybe. But you could pretty much pick anything off of that shelf or anything with the greatest hits label and know that the game is going to be at least pretty decent. And you're going to get like your value for it. Like there's no way you can do that with games anymore. Like, someone's selling a game for $3 or something, like, I side-eye it. Like, what's wrong with this game? You have to sell it for $3. Yeah, when labels are not bought. Yeah. Yeah, my oldest brother still has our PlayStation 2 and the games. I might have to hit him up and play some PS2 sometime. One in storage? Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. That's so cool. I'm sure you can just emulate every game that was ever on a PS2, but Left 4 Dead. Okay, nice. I never played Left 4 Dead, but I know that's like the formula for like so many games now, right? Like Dark Tide and Vermintide were all like Left 4 Dead. Are they making a new one? I have no idea. All right. You don't trust Valve to release anything. That's true. No, they're swimming in money with what they got, right? They're just like collecting their paycheck from Steam. The like 40 employees that work there. Okay, let's do one more color for the evening. I'm gonna get one gray. Busy making enough Steam to make games. Yeah, yeah. That's right. I read something about Epic Games. Epic Games, right? No, hold on. Yeah, the launcher, the Epic Games launcher, right, where like Fortnite is and stuff. Um, where they try to get people to come. They're trying to be like a competitor to Steam. And I read that they had like over the course of like 4 or 5 years, they had this like crazy percentage and increase of like users, accounts being made and people logging into Epic Games and stuff. This big increase, but their increase in people like actually purchasing games was like 1.4% over that same time period. Like it was abysmal. Like it's just such a terrible launcher, and like it's not it's not making any money from any of their games. It's because everybody uses it to log in and get free games and then just log back out. Which is really funny because I did that for a couple years. I have like 100 games in my Epic Games account that I never play because I don't even think I have it installed anymore. Somebody trying to break into the Steam market. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I never liked that launcher anyway. Oh, excuse me. It wasn't as familiar as Steam was, so here, we'll do one more. Get our light umber. They're HQ'd near you? Oh dang. I just read some nasty news about their CEO, Tim something. I don't know what his name is. Trying his best to make people hate him. He feels like a good company making smart decisions for its company. Yeah, for the most part, I think they are. Like, I remember when Steam first came out, I hated Steam, which, when you compare it to what was before it, like, yeah, Steam's a bad idea. Like, it was a pariah. I liked being able to just install my games and uninstall them when I pleased. And if my friend wanted to borrow one of my PC games, they could just borrow a PC game and install it and then uninstall it when they were done. Or just, return the disc when they were done, or I asked for it back or whatever. And Steam's like, nope, you pay for it. It's only for you and no one can touch your game anymore. And like, that was frankly infuriating. But yeah, over the years though, like everything else collectively has gotten worse, and Steam has just kind of been there. So, like, good for you, Steam. Not making people more angry than initially. I'm sure they've done some things, but I know for the most part, Steam's been pretty chill. Tried that. Microsoft tried that with the Xbox. Yeah. Ugh. Well, the Xbox One and people revolted. Oh yeah. Yeah, it kills the used game market, right? Does all that kind of stuff. And now looking at that, like, as far as the PC gaming world goes compared to the console gaming world, you like the market is made for that. Like, console games are made to be like bought and then sold when you're done with them, kind of thing, which I don't know if you can do that anymore. I don't even know, but I don't have a console. My son has a Switch and he gets gift cards for it, and that's about the extent of it. But PC games, they're so cheap in comparison to console games, because just about anybody can release a PC game, right? Like, you don't have to go through all the hoops of the like console and everything. So as long as it can run on a computer, you can sell it. And so the price of PC games tends to stay down a lot lower. And I know a lot of people won't buy PC games at retail. I don't know how people are with console games, but like me, I see a game selling for $60 and I just pass. They're all discouraging. No one would care. So us Game Pass more than makes up for it. Okay. I had friends as like teenagers that would have like like home computers, or they'd get their own computer or something, and like I'd pass them we'd pass games back and forth for like PC games and stuff. Yeah, I was the dude that had all the strategy games. Oh, Battle for Middle Earth, Dawn of War, Company of Heroes, Command and Conquer, like that whole series. Age of Empires, what else? Empire Earth, Cossacks. Any Total War game that was out at the time. Rome Total War was my go-to for a very long time. Um, yeah, yeah, just good stuff there. But yeah, we just pass games, share them. A game called Sudden Strike. I loved Sudden Strike. It was a World War II RTS. It was great. Good music. The missions are really fun. There's no base building. You don't technically own with it being all digital. Yes, unless you buy from GOG. Good Old Game does not have the DRM. So, yeah, and they have good sales too. And I think they have their own launcher, which is fine. But GOG is a good company too. So, just Good Old Game. They sell classic games also dirt cheap. And they're DRM free. So, yeah, GOG is legit. Alright, guys. I think we are going to call the stream there for the night. I'll come out and do other people I to play games with. Couldn't stick it out on the one server past level 24, changing factions. Oh, yeah. Don't get me started on World of Warcraft. That's a whole other conversation for another stream, because I thought that game was so stupid looking, and then I started playing and I was addicted for like 3 years. I woke up like 3 years later, like, what was I doing? Yeah. I'd never played Rise and Fall. I'm familiar with it though. That was an RTS. I had seen, but I just never got it. Yeah. But yeah, it was great chat with you guys. Man, I love chatting about old video games though, especially old like PC games and stuff. Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. Thank you guys for coming to hang out tonight. I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. I will see you all on Tuesday around 11 a.m. Eastern. And we'll be back painting minis and hanging out. Good night, everybody.